Hello there, gamers. Welcome back to my channel. This is the look we're doing today. I felt really cute in this look, honestly. I just love the way a winged liner looks on me, like a graphic kind of line. This one came out really good. It's like smudgy, smoky, and it has a pop of blue, which I'm really feeling. Can you see? I matched it to my crop top. Ooh, cute. Anyway, yeah, if you want to see this look, then please keep on watching. I hope you're having a lovely day. If you're not, I hope it gets better. And yeah, let's get into it.
Hey friends, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing this look here. It's a really simple smoky liner look with a pop of blue underneath. I really like this blue shade. It's the same shade as I've used in a previous tutorial. I used the shade Island Girl, which is a single that Kylie Cosmetics came out with before the rebrand, but it's just a shimmery blue shade with gold reflex through it. I'll just do a little swatch so you guys can see. It's just like this. It's absolutely gorgeous, a metallic kind of shade, and I just popped that on the lower lash line as well. So yeah, if you'd like to see this really cute little pop of color, summery, Island Girl inspired look, then please keep on watching. Also, guys, if you ever see these like lines in the frame, these are the lines from my like little lighting setup. So yeah, that's what's going on when you can see those sticks. If you can see them, I'm sorry, I hope it doesn't bother you. They're just some sticks, so hopefully it doesn't, but anyway, I'm going to go straight in with some foundation now. The foundation I'm going to be using is the Rimmel Lasting Finish 25-hour foundation. Just looks like this, yada yada yada. And I'm going to pop a couple of pumps onto my Mermaid Salon brush. I'm really into these brushes. Actually, I should tie up my hair first. My hair tie is just like a scrunchie from Brandy Melville. I'm really like, when I wash my hair, I feel like it's so like slinky and like slick, and I feel like it always gets in the way when I'm doing my makeup. So I prefer like tucking it back when it's like particularly floopy, just because I feel like it's a little bit more difficult to do my foundation when I'm like tucking it behind my ear constantly. Anyway, yeah, I'm really into these Mermaid Salon brushes. I mention that all the time. Also, I want to talk about foundation pumps. So I'm like, if I want a full coverage, like a proper full beat, I'm a 3 pumps kind of gal. And I recently have been watching a lot of YouTube and realizing that some people are just like, and I guess that different like pumps distribute different amounts, like pump out different amounts of makeup. But so many people are like, oh, I just use half a pump. Are people actually using half a pump of foundation? Are my foundation pumps not pumping out that much, and that's why I'm going in for like 3 pumps? Or am I wearing a huge amount of foundation? Because in real life, this looks like a normal amount of foundation to me. So am I like overdoing it? Because if I only pumped out 1 pump just then, it'd be kind of like a lighter coverage for me, and I wouldn't get like the full coverage that I want. But it's not like I'm wearing too much foundation to the point that it's like creamy and like thick on my skin or something. So I don't know. I'm just, how many pumps of foundation do you do? How many pumps, especially of like drugstore foundations? Because all my foundation is pretty much drugstore, and usually I go in for like, for example, my Rimmel pumps. Usually about 3 pumps from a Rimmel bottle does it for me. Anyway, this brush is so easy to use. Like, that was so fast, and I just feel like it's really like effective. I can really get in there. It's like a really sturdy handle. It's just really like heavy duty brush. It just does the job. I'm going in with some Rimmel concealer as well. This is the Lasting Matte Concealer, probably in like the shade 10 Ivory. Oh, 10 Fair Ivory, excuse me. I'll pop some around my nose. I put way too much on this side. Let's distribute that better. Almost got it in my inner corner there. I really was feeling bold with that. Anyway, this is actually a really good concealer. I like it more than the foundation from that like Lasting Matte range. It just kind of has like, I don't want to say a gel texture, but like it just looks really nice on the skin and almost has a gel looking finish when you wear it by itself. I would wear it without foundation even, and I still feel like it looks good by itself without like foundation as well. So anyway, that's my thoughts on that concealer. I'm just going to set my whole face now with some powder just to like, you know, fully set the beat. And I'm going to be using the Maybelline Fit Me Powder in the shade 10 Fair Light as well. Oh my gosh, is everything like fair ivory, fair light? I guess I'm the fair kind of range. Okay, just going to dust this over everywhere. When I put down my powder brush, I start off on like the area around my eye and nose because that's where I'd like it to be set the most, and then I take the powder from there to like the perimeters of the face. That's my kind of thoughts when powdering. There we go. How are you guys? What's new? What's poppin'? Nothing's new for me. It's the same lockdown life. I don't know. Lockdown's kind of a long time. It's been a long time, and it looks like it's still going to be a long time. It's kind of a bit overwhelming sometimes, but I'm doing okay. I've been keeping busy, getting up to stuff. I like filming videos for you guys. If you have any video suggestions of things you'd like to see from me, you can let me know in the comments down below. I'm always down for suggestions. Let's pat it down the neck a little bit as well. That's pretty good. I feel like this foundation is like a pretty good tone match for my skin tone. I'm going to go in with some bronzer now from the Body Shop. This is the shade 3 Medium Matte. I'm going to use this brush from Nude by Nature. It's called the Angled Blush Brush, but you don't have to follow the rules. Even though it's an angled blush brush, I'm going to use it as an angled bronzer brush. It just really nicely fits the contour of the cheek there, and I feel like it does a good job. And then what I usually do is after I place the product, I like blend up and down just to kind of like drape it over the larger area of the cheek, because I'm not really like chiseling or contouring. I'm more kind of wanting to have the most product here and then diffuse that across the whole cheek just to bronze up the whole face, if that makes sense. So that's my kind of thought process when I bronze. So I go like this just to give like the where I'd like it to be the most intense, and then I blend it out so that it doesn't have like any harsh edges or anything. I can always build it up a little more if I feel like I want it to go a little higher or lower. Yeah, that's my thoughts. When it comes to the forehead, I just try and keep it like most bronzed at like the hairline and then bring it in. So that's my thoughts there. I really like the tone of this bronzer. I think it's very matte and neutral, slightly warm but not too warm. I feel like this would work on very fair skin tones. I feel like this is a very fair skin friendly bronzer because the shade 3 is only is dark enough for me, so I feel like the lighter shades would be really good, hopefully, for like people with like extremely fair skin tones, but don't quote me. You know, I always think that this is my skin tone, like obviously this is my skin tone, but do you ever have a YouTuber that you watch and you think that they're the same skin tone as you, and they pick up a product that like perfectly works for you, and they're like, this is too dark for me, or this is too light for me? That always shocks me. I always watch, you know, Michelle here on YouTube. She does like bougie makeup. Everyone watches Michelle. Anyway, Michelle, I always thought was the same skin tone as me, or even deeper, like darker, you know what I mean? And then it turns out she's a lighter skin tone than me. I was shocked. I always thought that we had like the same skin tone, or if anything, she was a little bit darker than me. I don't know, she just looks a little bit more tanned. But it's just lighting because she's actually not into some highlights that I'm really into. And that surprised me because I just thought we were the same. And that, you know, changes makeup recommendations a little bit as well, because like obviously highlights that she likes are probably going to be a little bit icier than the ones that I would prefer, because the highlights that I love are all the ones that are like that golden tone that she mentioned in one of her videos is too dark for her. That shocked me. Someone who I thought was the same skin tone as me but was darker than me was, you know, Katie. I love Katie. I'm a big fan. Anyway, I met her in real life one time at a like event when she came to Australia when they did the squad tour. Oh, throwback. I love that era. Anyway, when she came to Australia to do her squad tour, I met her and she was darker than I expected. I thought that she would be like paler than me for some reason, but she was like the same skin tone or darker. I can't even remember now, it was a while ago, but I was like, oh, I didn't know that. I don't know, sometimes on YouTube, like you think that someone's the same skin tone as you, or you think they're darker or lighter. Not that it makes a difference, but it does for like makeup recommendations and stuff. By the way, the blush that I just used was the Kylie Pink Dreams blush, and I used the Real Techniques number 300 blush brush with that as well. But yeah, not that like I care that these people are like different skin tones to me, but like when you assume someone's the same skin tone as you and then you realize they're like actually lighter or darker, you're like, oh my gosh, I thought we were skin tone twins. Now I have to think about the makeup recommendations a little harder. Do you guys have any skin type buddies? I feel like I go for like so many different kinds of like finishes on foundations, so I'm not really fussed when it comes to having like a skin type buddy. Like, I hope that makes sense. Like some people, I'm going in with coconut cream, by the way, from the Real Techniques, not Real Techniques, from the Too Faced Semi-Sweet Chocolate Bar Palette. I'm just going to set my lid with this. Some people that have like really dry skin have like, you know, dry skin YouTubers that they watch so that they can see their, you know, foundation recommendations or whatever that work best for dry skin. Or maybe you have oily skin, so you follow someone who has an oily skin type who prefers a really matte finish, and then, you know, when they recommend a really matte foundation, you trust them because, you know, they're into that same matte vibe. But I'm someone who doesn't really like have a foundation preference. Like I like dewy foundations and I like matte foundations, so I don't really have like a YouTuber who I like follow particularly who I'm like, oh yes. skin type. I just like listen to everyone's foundation recommendations. If anyone says the foundation's good, I believe them. Like, if it's good, it's good. I have pretty normal skin. Maybe a little bit combo, but mostly normal. Like, it's nothing particularly dry, nothing crazy oily at this point, so I don't really feel like it's a big issue for me. I used the bronzer that I used on my face just through my crease, just to give it a little bit of warmth. I just felt like it. And now I'm going to go in with some funky colours. What brush will I use? So I'm going to take this little brush from Real Techniques. It's called a pointed liner brush. I'm going to be drawing liner on the upper lash line. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to dip into this shade called Truffled, which is just this matte shade up here. And I'm just going to draw this along the lash line. Just not too precisely, because I will like smudge this around a bit, but like trying to keep it like kind of tighter to my lash line, because I don't want it to be really like a big mess. And I'm trying not to get it on my lower lash line, because I'm going to add a color there later and I don't want those two to mix too much. But yeah, that's my thoughts on YouTubers surprising me, catfishing me, you could say, with being a different skin tone to what I thought was the same as mine. Okay, so I'm just drawing like a kind of a little wing, but it's not going to be precise because I can always draw in my proper wing later. This is just to give a little bit of like smudgy smokiness to the vibes, you know? So easy. I'm just going to keep packing it on, and I use this brush just to blend it a little bit, so it's kind of got like a smudgy edge. It doesn't have to be perfect, and like this wing is like kind of like vague because like I don't know exactly where my wing's going to go. It's just kind of like a guideline for later, hopefully. There we go. I'm pretty happy with the way that's coming out. I'm just going to leave that eye at that. It's as dark as I'm going to make it. And it's kind of like a smudgy wing. Unfortunately, there is some on my lower lash line. I always blink too much and like put my eyes too close together and get some on my lower lash line. I'm just going to scoop it off. Oh, it worked. Great. I just removed it with the brush we used to like set the face. I'm going to do the same on the other side, just taking that same matte shade called Truffled and taking that through the lash line again, trying to keep it close to the lash line so I don't make too thick of a wing, because I want this, not too thick of a wing, too thick of a line, because I would like the focus to be hopefully on the pop of blue that we pop in a lower lash line on a second. Pop on the lower lash line in a second. Just going to trace that along. I just try and like brush it through my actual lashes to get as close to my actual like waterline as I can without like poking myself. And if you make any mistakes, like use your fingers and just like fix it up, you know what I mean? Like just like fiddle around with it a bit. This is a very easy shadow to work with. I'm really into it. I feel like the smoky liner trends are really popping off right now, especially like on TikTok and stuff. I'm not really on TikTok enough. You can follow me there if you want. I just like don't post very often. Go follow me on TikTok, guys. Illy. But yeah, I just, I don't know, I prefer a longer format of video. YouTube has always been my favorite. I just prefer, like, YouTube because I prefer, like, I feel like I can get to know someone a little bit better over YouTube just because I can spend a longer amount of time with them. But there are some really good TikToks where I feel like people do a really good job of editing themselves into that short time frame so that I feel like I'm getting, like, the experience even though it's short. So, like, I'm not dissing TikTok or anything. I just prefer like a long, ranty, rambly kind of sit down kind of video. Just my preference. I'm going in with this smudge brush from Real Techniques, and this shade down here called Island Girl from Kylie Cosmetics. This is my little Z palette, by the way. It's just from Australis. And I'm just going to take this shade through my lower lash line. Australis is like an Australian makeup brand. I was thinking maybe I should do a video on like Australian makeup brands, because there are so many brands that we can buy here in Australia I don't see talked about on YouTube, and I think it's just because like people in America are kind of predominantly, they're like the main country here on YouTube, I feel, or in the beauty gurus that I watch. I do watch a couple of Australian YouTubers, but like most people are American, I feel, on YouTube. And so I was thinking maybe I should do a little video about Australian makeup and like what brands we have here, because they are different. Would that be something you guys are interested in? If not, that's okay. I'm just taking this through the lower lash line and kind of going all the way into the inner corner, not taking it on the actual inner corner, and like smudging it outside here to meet with that wing that we added earlier. I accidentally flicked some eyeshadow into my actual eye as well, which is not comfortable. Don't do that if you can avoid it. I just don't know how to avoid it. If you have any top tips, let me know in the comments below. But yeah, let me know also if you think I should do a little video about like Australian makeup brands. Australis is one of them, but there are a couple that we have here that I don't see talked about very much. Um, and when I see another Australian YouTuber mention one of these Australian makeup brands, I'm like, hey, bestie. Okay. I think that's all I'm going to do for the blue. It's just really simple little lower lash line. I'm just going to blend that a little bit. Yeah, that's cute. Okay. Love it. It's like a little pop. It's kind of fun. You could even do this blue with like, I've done this before where I had a golden lid and the blue underneath. Like I did a gold cut crease and I added just like the blue into the lower lash line and I thought it looked really cool. I just love this shade of like blue. I feel like it's such like a fun, magical touch. Okay, I'm going to go in with some liquid liner, do my liner, lashes, brows. You know the drill. I'll do that all off camera. I'll see you in a bit. I've popped on my liner and my brows. I haven't done my lashes yet because I actually want to add a little bit more to the upper lash line. I feel like I didn't add enough smokiness to that wing. So I'm just going to grab the same brush as I used earlier, that little one that I used on the brown shadow. And I'm going to take the same shade, Truffled, and I'm going to blend upwards from the wing. Just like, you can see, like smoke it out a little bit more. Deepen it up. I might even go in with this shade here called Licorice, which is just like a matte black shade, and also blend that from the little brown smudge that I'm making into the liner that I did, so that it all looks like one cohesive brown to black kind of smudgy liner look. I feel like it will blend the two together more, so I'll just do that off camera because you guys know what smudge and liner looks like. It's the same. I'm just smudging some line around. Okay, so I've put the black on this eye and you can kind of tell. It just like intensified the look. I'll zoom you in so you can see. It's just like smudgier. It's not like the smudgiest, like you can still see the wing, but it's just like a little bit darker. Whereas this one, I'm going to add the black to now. So there we go. I'm just going to dip in with the same brush into that black shade and I kind of just trace the liner and kind of as though I'm setting the liner. I'm not setting the liner because obviously I just used like a felt tip liner pen. Well, actually it was a brush tip liner pen. But I'm just going to trace the liner at the top where it meets the brown shade. And because I've already got that brown shade down, it like melts really easily together. As you can see, it just like, it's easy to blend. It's becoming smoky. It gives me that smudgy edge that I'm looking for. It's kind of more difficult to do this at the front of the lash line just because this is such a small space, but just, you know, do sideways motions instead of up and down motions, like dragging motions along the lash line. And, you know, you can always use your fingers to like move things around. Okay, so that's successful. That's the vibe I wanted. Okay, I'm going to disappear for a sec and go add my lashes because you don't need to see that. Same lashes as always. You know the drill. And I'll catch you in a bit. I popped on some lashes. I'm wearing these lashes. They're called the Sweet Princess lashes. This is what the box looks like. I can't read Mandarin, so I have no idea what that says, but I bought these from a store in Taiwan at like a drugstore. I can't even remember what it was called because it was so long since I went. But I'm going to take my hair out now because I feel like I don't need it up anymore. I'm going to pop on a little bit of highlight. Actually, a lot of highlight. I'm going to wear High Beam today. I just feel like it. High Beam is this like liquid kind of highlighter from Benefit, and I think it's a very pretty like pearlescent shade without pulling too icy. You know how earlier I was talking about like how some highlighters are too light on my skin tone? This one is not, because I don't know, sometimes, not that like they're too light, but like I feel like some highlighters can pull too icy and look a little like frosty on me, which sometimes is vibe, but sometimes like I'm not really into, and this one doesn't pull too frosty on me, which is a vibe. Also, I feel like earlier I was like, these YouTubers have catfished me. Then they're not. I'm just like, this is like my perception in my head from like their lighting and setup is different to what I thought. Like, because in reality they were a different skin tone. It's like, I'm not saying anything bad about them. It's just like me in my head, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, I'm taking this highlight everywhere. Also, sorry about that beeping sound. It's my watch. I feel like that watch always beeps around this time of the day, right? And it's in so many of my videos because I often film around this time of the day. I'm just popping on a little bit more on this side because I want a little bit more glowiness. I really like this highlighter. I feel like it's very easily buildable. It doesn't make the foundation or like product underneath separate or anything, even when I leave it on my skin for a little bit of time like I am doing right now, which is like really beneficial in my opinion because a lot of like liquid products can like separate the products underneath on your face. I feel like it blends out very easily. Even if I leave it for a second, like some highlights can become stiffer and more difficult to blend, but I don't really have that issue with this one. Like I was worried there was going to be a line there and there is not. I'm not going to take it on my forehead just because I have some pimples up there. I'm not really vibing at the moment. Usually I would take it on the forehead as well, but I'm just not going to today. I am, however, going to take it on the smaller detailed areas of the face using this little tapered blending brush. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to grab it directly from that little applicator onto the brush, and then I'm going to take that on the Cupid's bow. This is such a beautiful highlight also because it isn't shimmery like in a glittery way. It's just like a sheen. So it doesn't look unnatural on the skin. It's very like pretty, and it also doesn't like look like glittery on the face. It's just like a gorgeous sheen. I don't know if like it's coming up on camera as beautiful as it is in real life, but definitely one of my favorite liquid highlights. I just love the Benefit liquid highlight range. I used to have the sunnier version, like the darker version of this. I think it's called Sunbeam, and that was really nice as well. I literally used that up. It was such a gorgeous golden summery shade. I was really into that. But yeah, I'm just blending this through my brow bone as well. I've taken it on my nose. I think that's all the places I'd like some highlight. I almost forgot my inner corners. Silly me. I'm going to take a little dot of this and just pop it in the inner corner, just really precisely, just to brighten it up in there a little bit. I'm not taking it anywhere else on the lid. I just want a little bit of brightness in the eyes and see how that, like, I don't know, just adds a little something. I think it looks really pretty. But I'm not going to take it on the lid or anything because I'm trying to keep that focus on the like funky liners that we've done today. So this is only for the inner corner, and I'm just patting around instead of like blending largely because this is kind of like a smaller precise area. I really like this brush because you can blend with the sides, but it also has that precise kind of tapered tip, so you can get into some more detailed areas such as the ones that I just did. But yeah, that is all of the face products. I am going to pop on some lip gloss today and some setting spray. The lip gloss I'm going to wear is Honey I'm Home from Dose of Colors, a very pigmented warm tone nude. Really easy to apply with the flat doe foot applicator. I also, of course, go up into my Cupid's bow. I feel like I have a very pointed Cupid's bow, like a defined Cupid's bow on my lip. Like, not that that's bad or good or anything, I just have a pointed Cupid's bow. And then I'm going to set my face with some setting spray. This is the L'Oreal Infallible Magic Setting Spray with the blue writing on the black bottle. Love this diffusing like mist. It's very like a gentle mist. Doesn't come out in like a squirty kind of spray. It's more of like a misting motion, and I'm really into that. I'm going to let this dry, and that will be the completed look today. I hope you liked this video. If you did, let me know in the comments down below. You can give this video a big thumbs up. Subscribe if you'd like to see more content from me. I upload very frequently. And yeah, I'll catch you next time. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye!
And it's outro time. Here is me struggling with the lighting. I'm overexposed. Here's my face looking normal again. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. You could do this with any color. I just chose blue today because I'm in a blue patch right now, but you could go for like, you know, gold. That'd be really cute. I like metallics for this. You could do a pastel or like a matte color as well. I just think the shimmer adds a little something and like brightens up underneath the eye a little bit. You could also do like an interesting color on top instead of just the smoky wing that I did, but I'm really into the smoky wing. I feel like it's really like iconic, and I feel like it suits my eye shape. But yeah, this is the look. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you so much for watching, especially if you get to this point in the video. I know my videos are very long, so I do appreciate it, and I'll catch you next time. Bye. Toodaloo. Bye bye bye.